Registered Dietitian Jennifer Miller joins us today to show us how we can use winter squash and some really healthy recipes this winter. Thanks for joining us. Give us an idea. You brought some with you. So what are some of the things we should be looking for when you're picking them out?
Sure. So first off, this is a butternut squash. If you're not familiar with squash, there's tons of varieties of squash out there. So you're going to want to look for those that still have that stem attached up at the top and that isn't mushy. It's a hard winter squash. It should be hard. It should not be soft, and no nicks or molding or anything on it.
All right. Keep in mind that when you go to start to open them up and cutting them, you got to be very careful because it's a lot to get into them. You got to have to use a bigger knife.
You are
to open them up. So keep
yes.
that in mind. And then one of the things also, once you get it home, best way to store them.
Sure. So a lot of them can just be stored in a cool, dark area for a couple weeks, up to a couple months. So that's the best way to store them. Once you cook it, you could store it in the refrigerator for a couple days. Otherwise, it freezes great too for up to 6 months.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, nutrient-wise, what do you get out of it when you're having a typical squash?
Sure. So you can have a whole cup for just 115 calories. So that's a great way to fill up on some squash. And then it's got vitamins A, vitamin C, fiber in there. So definitely a nutrient-dense vegetable.
Very good for you. All right. Now you brought this recipe today. We've seen a variation of it before, but give us an idea. What is this?
Yeah, so this is an African peanut stew, and it gets the peanut because there's peanut butter in there. Adds a great flavor to it, and in this time we use half sweet potatoes, half squash. And you're calling for 2 cups of squash, which is about this size too. So sometimes you're wondering how much squash do I buy when it calls for 2 cups, and it's about this size for a squash too. And then it's got beans, tomatoes, green chilies, so great flavor and easy because you do it in the crock pot.
Very nice. All right, so if you want any other recipes, this recipe included, you can always go to getactivelacrosse.com for some more healthy recipes for the winter. And Jennifer, thanks so much for joining us too.